everyone. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Sunbury Shore's Art Attack. This year, COVID has made it more difficult for folks to get out and visit the gallery, so we thought we'd bring some artists to you. So joining us today from the Sunbury Shore's print studio is local artist Ted Michener. Hi Ted, thanks for being with us today and for participating in our Art Attack series.
My pleasure, Angela. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Are you up for a few questions?
Well, I guess so. Let's go here. Let's see what you got.
All right, let's see how it goes. So first of all, can you tell us how the COVID pandemic has affected your work, if at all?
Oh boy, that's from left field. I don't think it's affected me in the least. I mean, I work in a studio. I'm isolated. Showing the works and getting to some of my other galleries is pretty difficult. The Breakwater Gallery in Eastport and the Cobalt Gallery in St. John, pretty difficult to get anything there because they're pretty much closed.
Right.
So in that respect, but as far as application onto the canvas, no, not in the least. I'm still doing a lot of.
I know you typically go to Mexico to paint each winter, but you weren't able to go this year because of COVID. What do you enjoy most about painting there?
Actually, I did go this year.
Oh, okay.
I was in Tepoztlan. Yeah, I just came back earlier than usual. So I did a lot of painting down there. The one over my shoulder here is one that I actually did down there on canvas, and then I restretched it here in Canada. So yeah, I did a lot. I was there 6 weeks, and where I stay is Juanita Perez. She's a pretty well-known artist in Mexico. She has two residences on her land, so she has graciously given Elaine and I a place to paint in one of her houses that she does not use, and it's a fabulous area. It's a lanai out in the open where I can paint to my heart's desire for as many hours as I wish during the day.
Nice.
So this is one of them that I produced in. So no, COVID hasn't really affected me at all from an art perspective.
So you have a very distinctive painting style. How would you describe it?
Well, I back in my early days, I was taught by a few group of 7 artists at a school called the Dune School of Fine Arts. So perhaps that has instilled some application memories in my gray anatomy. I'm glad that you think it's different, and that's what I'm striving for. So it's a cross between realism and abstraction. So semi-impressionistic, I think would be the term.
It's very vibrant and energetic. How do you infuse a sense of energy in your work?
Motion, depth. Trying to have the viewer and myself walk into the composition, move around without leaving the parameters. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the secret. Depth. I
know that you're also a professional illustrator. What appeals to you about that work?
What doesn't appeal is the deadlines, which I'm out of now and have been for many, many, many years. My wife and I, who's now departed, we've been very busy for about 25 years in Toronto and New York City. I love seeing the work produced in print, but boy, there was a lot of deadlines and a lot of late nights. So I don't miss that in the least, but I love the accolades I received.
For sure.
From the work, etc. And the money was pretty good too. But I now work for a local newspaper called the St. Croix Courier. So I've stepped down somewhat from the Toronto Star as far as readership goes. But I still love it. Here you get immediate reaction from the locals. Hey, liked your cartoon last week, it was great, yeah. So that's never got that in Toronto.
Can you recall the first piece that you sold as an illustrator?
Can I recall, pardon me?
Can you recall the first piece that you sold as an illustrator?
Ooh, one of the first was from the Toronto Star. They wanted a piece done on the high cost of dental care. So I personified a large cash register with a small dentist extracting money out of the cash register's mouth and they received hundreds of emails and calls. Well, no emails in those days, sorry, from the Ontario Dental Association regarding this. And I got a phone call from the art director, and he says, "You're hired." they love the response from all this. So that was 1969, I think, was the first one published in the Toronto Star.
Great.
A long time ago.
Do you prefer studio work or plein air?
I love plein air, but 90% is studio work, 95%. Plein air, I just can't seem to plan my day to get out there and do things, but when I do, I just love it, love being out there. I usually just sit on the back of my truck, use that as a seat and set the easel up from there.
Whatever works.
And paint. It works great.
From where I sit, it appears that you're quite prolific in terms of the number of pieces that you produce. Where do you get your energy?
So yeah, I can give you a deal on a painting, by the way. I have several.
We'll talk.
Okay. What was the question? I have lots of paintings. Where do I get the energy?
Yeah, where do you get the energy?
I just love doing it. I mean, when you love doing something, you try to spend as much time as you can doing this activity. So yeah, just love doing it. Yes, they are piling up.
So you're also an art teacher, and in fact, I believe you've delivered several courses here at Sunbury Shores over the years. When you teach, is there one consistent piece of advice that you like to leave with students?
Oh, just have fun. Just have delight in what you're doing. Don't sweat it. Just get involved, leave the world, have some fun. Yeah, walk into the composition. Just forget everything else around you. Have fun and enjoy.
That's great advice.
That's it.
So what kind of work do you think you'd be doing if you hadn't followed the path of an artist?
I may have been in prison, I'm not sure. Let's see, what was that? Well, I wanted to be an underwater demolition expert at one time. But having asthma, that kind of screwed that up. But I did get my PADI certification in diving. Stage design. I was thinking about stage design.
Yeah.
I did help out the little theater in my hometown, Fort Dover, Ontario, for years when I was a boy. But then when I got to college, they had dropped the stage design course that year. I was very upset. So then I thought, oh, cartooning seems to be fun. So I went to the varsity newspaper, that's the university newspaper, and asked if I could do cartoons for them. And they said, yeah, sure. Got $5. And from that built up a portfolio as well. So I started showing that around. I got into the bigger papers later on. And
how did you end up making art in St. Andrews?
Well, it was just a transition, segue from Toronto to here. I mean, I just immediately set up in my barn and continued. And there's so much visual stimuli here. It's unbelievable. I mean, everywhere you look, there's a gorgeous scene to be painted or plant to be drawn. So that's a no-brainer.
Great. Well, that's great, Ted. Thanks for agreeing to this interview. I'm wondering now if we can call this a TED Talk. One last question.
We may be sued. Hold it. We may be sued. There is a TED Talk, isn't there, on the
Yes, there is.
Major networks? But yes, you. But don't
so one last question.
TED Talk's good.
Is there somewhere online that the viewers could go to see some of your work?
Yes, ted-michener.com.
Ted-Michener.
I had to put the hyphen in there because when I was in Mexico, some Oriental Asian company stole my name, ted-michener.com. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, so it's ted-michener.com. Or you can just go into Ted Michener /artist maritime art, something like that. There's many, there actually in that site there, I checked out 2 days ago, there's work from way back when I did album design as well. I was amazed to see some of that work. So yeah, that's pretty interesting too. Just put in my name /artist, maritime art, something like that.
Okay, folks, that was the multi-talented Ted Michener. Please stay tuned for more Art Attack interviews with local artists. And in the meantime, stay safe and keep making art. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks, Angela. Bye for now.